Hi, everybody. It is Mary Jo from Mary Jo's Creations. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi. I hope you like it here and all the insanity that is me. If you're returning, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you so much. Y'all are awesome. And I just can't thank you enough for coming back and, watching the insanity. And here we go. This is future me because I was starting to edit the video that's going to go up tomorrow and I had no intro. I was going to start editing and I'm also finishing up the project, but there was no intro. So here it is. I told you I'm a hot mess, and today has been a very slow day. So let's just go back in time. Okay. Hey, guys. All right. So I am on my last round of double crochets, and I don't know what the hell the last thing I showed you was, but anyway, this is round 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm on the last round right now of double crochets. Half doubles, and then I will be doing a round of single crochets, and I believe that I'm going to do that in the brown, this brown. Just to finish it off, I think that'll look pretty. To have that gold in there to kind of like tie the whole thing together, And I can't wait till you see it on. I don't know if this would be considered, I don't think it would be considered a shawl. I don't know what this would be considered. And I'm still thinking about something that I kind of don't want to say yet, because again, this project is kind of like a little secret. I want you to see it without me really trying to explain it. And I think you're going to love it. Now, again, as always in apparently Mary Jo fashion, it did come out a little bit big. But in all fairness, like, this is something that I could truly say can be like a one size fits all, because it would, like, I feel like I'm kind of in the middle, right? I'm not skinny, although I have been, and I'm not fat, because I have been that too. And right now I feel like I'm in the middle of what I've been in the past, right? Either I'm really skinny or I've gotten very heavy. And, I feel like right now I'm in the middle. And this is something that, I could wear right now. If I was to get heavier, it would still fit nice. And if I lose weight, which I know that's what's going to happen, because as soon as my thyroids get regular, I start losing weight. And that's just been my entire life because of my thyroid condition. And it just is what it is. I've gone to where I was wearing, I couldn't even tell you. I think like my pants were like an extra large. Like I was a size, I think maybe, I don't know, 16. And right, like when my fibromyalgia, when I started getting very, very sick, and, I also wasn't able to keep any food down. I don't know what was going on, but, and when I was younger, I was very skinny. I barely weighed 100 pounds. Um, and then I had my daughter. Well, I know I'm going all crazy here. When I was 16 and I found out I had a thyroid condition, I got very heavy because my thyroids got very low and I got very sick, and I did get chunky. Um, I think I went from wearing a size 1 to wearing a size 8, I think. I don't know, something like that. I was big. And then I got on medication and I was normal. Although the doctor thought that I was still too skinny because I barely weighed 100 pounds when I got pregnant with my daughter. And, while I was pregnant with my daughter, they became normal. I had to stop taking the medication. And then, like, it's just been up and down, up and down. The last time, a few years ago, I lost a lot of weight and I was wearing a size 4. I was like a small. I don't think I got into an extra small, but I was like a small. Right now in pants, I'm a medium. So I'm like I said, I feel like I'm in the middle. And this, even if I was to lose weight, God, I never want to get that small again, because that is just, I didn't like it. I looked sickly. I looked, bad. But I kind of like the way I am right now. I just, like most people, wish I could just lose this part, like my belly. Like, if I could lose that, I would be, like, awesome. But anyway, this, even if I do lose a lot of weight, or, even if it's just 20 pounds, on me, 20 pounds looks drastic, right? Or 30 pounds. 20 pounds is more or less what I want to lose. But even if I go down, this will still, it'll look big, but it'll still look good. So this is something that you can use when you're thin, if you're thin, or if you're, in the middle, or if you're heavy. This is something that I think is truly a one size fits all. And it is kind of long, which I like, but I also sometimes like things that aren't so long. That's why we're going to end up making another one at some point. Well, that's always a thing, right? I always like to do them more than once if it's something that I like, so I can write it down, because I did not write this down. Although it's, very straightforward to me. I know what I did by looking at it, and I can always, if I want to, go count it. But since I do like it and I'm going to remake it, I can always write it down when I'm doing that. But I think that in the next one, I'm going to do 2 panels shorter. And I think I was talking about this in the last video. I was contemplating on whether or not I should take it apart and remove 2 panels. But I decided not to. And I do love the way that it looks. I so can't wait to wear this. This is going to look so nice. But what was I saying? I think I do want to make one that's not as long, because number one, not everybody likes long things. And number two, sometimes you might want something that's long. Sometimes you might want something that's, up to your hips or just a little bit below your hips. And I think that's the difference also between the cardigan that I'm making now and the other one that gave me the idea to make this one. that one comes up to my hips, or a little bit more or less. And that's because I ran out of yarn and I could only make those sizes, right? This one, I kind of did it the size that I wanted to make that one, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. Although, I'm rambling. Although, you know, I would like to make that one just a little bit longer. Not as long as I was planning to originally, but a little bit longer than that one. And this one, I want to make it a little bit shorter. So next time, I'm also going to, when I do that one, do it 2 squares on each side left. 1 square less on each side. So each side is going to have 4 squares instead of 5. And I also want to do it the original way that I was thinking of doing it, which was to do the granny stitch, the join as you go, so it looks like one solid piece, as opposed to being stitched together where you see, you know, you see the join. Now, I could have stitched them up regularly, although I don't like to do that. But also the thing with that, if you remember, was the same reason I couldn't do the join as you go. The squares are not the same size. When you hold them up together, they look like they're the same size, and they measured about the same size. The thing is that when you're doing granny clusters, when you're doing a granny square like that, the amount of rounds has specific amount of clusters in each side, right? And the reason why I made the flower one I added an extra round on the flower one to get it the same size, and I wasn't thinking, because if I did the join as you go, you probably wouldn't have noticed it. And it would have been 9 rounds, and it would have probably been fine. I might try to do that in the future and just do them 9 rounds and then try to connect them instead of doing them the way I did it this time. But that's okay, because, you know, that's how I learn. That's how I learn how to make new things, usually by accident, because I'm trying to make something else. I swear, that's how I come up with most of my ideas. Now, I do think that if this was 1 round less, it would have been fine. So, in the future, I don't know what colors I'm going to use, but I would like to make another one with flowers, probably like some blues, or I don't know what colors I have left. And that's another thing that's making me sad and want to cry, because pretty soon I'm not going to have that much yarn left. And that's going to be sad. So I'm trying to use my yarn because I want to make stuff, and I want to get patterns written and, you know, have stuff that I can put up on my website, or that, you know, if someone sees it and would like one and wants to order one, I could, you know, make it to order. But I have to be careful with how I use the yarn that I have left, because I don't know exactly how much I have left. I haven't counted, and I don't want to. Mind you, I do have a wall that's still full, and there's some left on the other side. But I've gone through quite a bit of yarn so far, and we're still, like, we're what, a quarter of the year down? And just this month alone, honestly, I think I'm going to have at least 25 skeins used. I think. It might be a little more. I don't think it's going to be less, but anyway, I do want to, I have a lot of projects that I want to make and remake, actually, so that I can get maybe these patterns written and maybe get them, you know, down and have them tested, like pattern tested. Now, they're not going to be written like traditional patterns. I'm going to write it out the way I understand it because of my ADHD and my dyslexia. I need things done a little more simple than, you know, normal, and that's how I make my things. I try to do it as simple and unconfusing as possible. And I know there are people like me that have the same problem. So I want to write the pattern the way I understand it and see if anyone else can understand it. I would love to do that. And in order to do that, I need to recreate some of the things that I've done. And that's what I'm going to use the rest of my yarn for. And hopefully be able to buy more yarn before the end of the year, if I'm lucky. But, that is really my goal. And when I redo this one, I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to make the flower squares 9 rounds, just like I make the regular squares. And this time we're going to try and attach it with the join as you go to see how that looks. And then you'll have, and I also like doing that, right? Because then you'll have 2 versions. So you can do it this way, or you could do it that way. And have that all in one pattern. You know what I mean? Like, you could make it longer if you want. If you do it this size, it'll measure whatever. And that's one thing that I have to do on some of the things that I have up on my website, which aren't many. I do need to measure the items and put the measurements in it. I'm still trying to get organized as best as possible because that was kind of a rush when I did that. Just have a place to have some of my stuff in case people wanted to see it. And now we got to focus on number 1, getting these patterns redone, and number 2, getting pictures up to hopefully be able to do some kind of custom orders and just figure out the website because I'm still not really familiar with it. But anyway, I got way off track. I am so sorry. If you have ADHD, you understand. You just, one thing leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another, which you end up talking about something completely different than what you started off in the beginning. So, when I redo this one, which is going to be done at some point, I'm going to make all the squares the same size. The only thing I like about this one where the squares are different sizes is this. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you right now. The only thing I really like about the fact that this is different sizes is that when you hold it up, is this the end? Yeah. Okay. You see how they don't line up? So it's like they're offset a little bit. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the way it looks like, you know, they alternate. You see that? And for some reason, I really like it. So I am not opposed to, you know, doing it like this again, but I do also want to see what it looks like when it was the way I had it in my head, right? And I just like to look at this like a happy accident. This wasn't what I was looking for. This wasn't, not exactly. You know, certain things had to get changed and it's not really what I was looking for. However, because of that, I found something that I would have probably never done on purpose. And that's what I love so much about creating. That's what I love so much about, you know, getting an idea and trying to get that idea made. And sometimes you find something that you weren't planning on doing at all because it was a mistake. But it was a good, more like an accident. Not mistake. I hate that word, mistake. You know, it was like a happy accident. Because I would have never thought of doing it this way on purpose. This was not what I intended. However, because of the little errors that I made, it did come out to something beautiful. And now, because I made these errors, I can go back and do it how I had it in my head. And then we can compare the two. And then, like I said, then, you know, you got 2 patterns out of it. And when I recreate it, that's when I will write down all of the math and stuff like that, the pattern. And again, I want to write it the way that I can read it. And hopefully, you know, I've heard a lot of other crocheters who also have problems reading certain patterns and get confused and you know, they start doing the pattern and then because it's confused or it's not coming out the right way, then they end up like not even using the pattern at all, which I get, because when I tried tutorials and you know, looking at patterns, I couldn't do it. And I hope that, you know, if I am able to get it written down and send it out for hopefully get somebody who wants to try my pattern, it'll be easy for them to understand. And I'm trying to do research on how to do all of that. But I'm very excited for this year because this year I want to get everything lined up the way I wish I was able to before I kind of like dove head first without having any, or actually was kind of pushed and have to figure it out, which I don't like doing that. But I like failing even less. So I was put in an uncomfortable position and I wasn't fully ready to do things because I don't have patterns written down. I'm working out the kinks in most of the patterns that I have written. And because I didn't have a lot and I was just starting, I really wanted to create instead of trying to, you know, like just be focused on one thing. I wanted to make more cardigans, and now all I have to do is find my balance. And it's getting easier as it goes, because now I do have a lot of things, done where I can take a pause, and if I think of something new, then I can work on that along with something old that I want to recreate, and have one project that's creating and one project that I'm recreating, and go back and forth. Now, the beginning of this year was also a little crazy because, number one, my health got really bad because of the thyroids. They were, barely functioning. It was that bad. Very, very bad. And the fibromyalgia has been out of control, which is also bad. And then on top of that, I put a lot of challenges on myself. And, to me, the end of the year and the beginning of the year are very crazy because you have all the holidays from, let's say, Halloween all the way to Christmas. And then when you get out of Christmas, it's my birthday in February, the beginning of February, and Valentine's Day, and then St. Patty's Day, and you want to make all these items for all of it, and I was still trying to get over the blanket that I had to put together that I made during Vlogmas, and I might change it a little this year, but that's not a conversation for right now. And because of all of that, it's just been a crazy beginning of the year. So I'm hoping that it'll calm down. Now, May is a little rough for me. And I don't want to, discuss that right now, but I'm just letting y'all know May is a very hard time for me. But I am going to do my best to get as much, as I want accomplished done. I know everybody's doing things for Mother's Day. I don't think that I will be doing anything special. I was thinking of crocheting something, but like I said, May is going to be very hard on me. And I'm glad that I have this channel because I know I'm going to have to keep making videos and keep crocheting, and maybe it'll be a little bit easier this year. But May marks 12 years that my mother has passed. So, and that was like a very difficult relationship. So it's a lot of mixed feelings there. And also my daughter's really not speaking to me, so, it's just a very hard month. It's also Mother's Day and my mother's birthday, and when she died. So it's a lot, and it's all within like a 2-week span. But I'm hoping that this year, because I have you guys, it won't be so bad. But anyway, I've been talking more than enough. I'm almost, I think, all the way around. I'm not sure. I've been talking. I haven't been paying attention to how far I am. I don't know exactly where I am in the cardigan, if I'm on the top or the bottom. I know I have one side down. I'm on the bottom. So I'm on the bottom portion of the project, and I'm going to just finish up this. I have to do is finish the half double all the way around, and then do the last single crochet. I'm using a lot more of this gold than I wanted to, but I actually like the way it's coming done. I really do like that. And I think having the brown, the single crochet in brown, is going to really make it look really pretty. So let me go finish this, and I'll be back in just a sec for you. And I'm hoping that we can have both of these projects done before the end of the night. One can only hope, right? And I just realized that I tried uploading my video, and I don't know if it got uploaded or not. I gotta go check. And get it set to go up tomorrow. And then this video will go up on Tuesday. Wednesday. This video will go up on Wednesday. But I'm going to go work on this, and I'll be back. Okay. Hey, everybody. Now, the secret project is finished. It's done. I added a little touch to it. I got it to the way that I like it, where I can use it that way, or I can use it, a different way, and you'll know what I mean in a little bit. But I am just so excited. Now, the only thing I have left is the sleeves on this cardigan, which we started last night, right? And then this morning I decided that I wanted to do the trim on that and the border on that special project. And that did take a while, because I was supposed to do 5 rows or rounds of half double crochets and then 1 round of single. And I I forgot, and for some reason I did 4, and it didn't look right. So I had to, I did 4 rows or rounds of half double crochets, and then I did 1 round of single. And when I finished it and I looked at it, I was like, no, it's wrong. So I had to rip the single out, and I had to go back around. So unfortunately, because these were all like brand new designs and I had never done them before, there was a lot of trial and error, and I had to like rip things back, like these sleeves. But I don't think these sleeves are going to take me very long. I have, I believe I'm going to do 15 rounds. So we're going to start with that, right? 15 rounds of granny stitch all the way around. It's not that much. I'm not sure how many clusters we have, but I don't think it's many. Actually, I can count them right now. So, and then like, I am going to decrease at some point, but I think it's every like, I think, I mean, I can go look at the other one, but these are a little bit different, so I don't think it's going to work. But let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's 20 clusters. 21 clusters. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Hold on. I hate doing that because then, like, okay, there we go. Now I'm not going to get confused. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So there's 21 clusters. Now, I'm going to do 10. And then once I get to the 10th one, because when I did the sage color that I started, I did it all the way down to, I think, like 10 rounds. And I think it hit like right here, maybe a little bit lower. So what I'll do is I'll go down 10 rounds. I'll go around 10 rounds and I'll try it on. And then I'll start a decrease from there. How much I'm going to decrease, I don't know. Probably, you know what? Let me see something. Hold on. We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, you know what? Let's start a decrease by 1 on this one. How's that sound? I think that's good. We can just decrease 1 stitch and get it down to 20. And do the next 5 rows with only 20 clusters. So I gotta think, I think how I'm gonna do it is do 1 single crochet and then I'll do the cluster here. And that should reduce 1 cluster. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and go round and round and round we go. By my calculations, I think that I can get this done in about an hour. But like I said, we're just going to keep going down and down and down and around until we get to 10. Right, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so on number 6, I started a decrease. And then we're going to go to 10. And we're going to see what it looks like. And then if we need to, on 11, we'll do another decrease. No, you know what? We're going to do 5 more. I think that's how I've been doing it. I do 5, then a decrease, then I do 5 more, and then another decrease. And we'll just make sure we get to 15 rounds. But we'll stop at 10 to see what it looks like. And right now, hold on, let me do this one and I can check and see what it looks like and let you know. Like you can see right now, we'll just slip it on, but I want to have this one done first, especially with the decrease. That'll actually let me see how it looks, because when it comes to sleeves, every sweater is different. every sweater, it depends on how the sweater is made. That's how I handle the sleeves, because some are different than others, and it also depends on the stitch too. But I always work my sleeves directly onto the project itself. I've never made a sweater where I had to do panels for the sleeves, because I just don't like that. I don't want to have to sew the sleeves on or attach the sleeves onto the project, the panel. I don't want to do that. I want to shape my sleeves as I go. If I feel that it's a little too wide, I can just narrow it as I go instead of making a panel. You know, that's just my personal preference. Um, but when I do my patterns, when I do my sleeves, they are all done directly onto the project. And every project is different depending on how the cardigan or the sweater falls, or how it's constructed. Because if it's really off the shoulder, then, the sleeves aren't going to be that long, because you already have the drop from the sleeve, the panel. And if you do it like from here, where you stop like right here, then you're going to have a longer sleeve because it's starting from up here. So it always depends on the construction of the sweater or the cardigan and how I'm making it. But even the sleeves from my jacket that I just made, I finished last month, and I wear that thing all the time. It's so warm. It's like, I think that's like the best thing I've crocheted so far. I can't, I love it. I wish I would have finished it when it was still truly cold outside, because it would have worked. So I can't wait to be able to wear it in the fall. And I do need to make, that's where I'm glad that I need to make another one. Because, I want another one. I want one in black. Or gray and black. And, I really would like one. So, since I do have to make it again to write out the pattern, I'm really glad or to check the pattern, because that one I did write it out. But I'm kind of really glad that, hold on. I'm trying to figure out, okay, we're going to put it here. Come on. But I can't wait to make another one of those, right? And that's going to be fun. But that sleeve started all the way up here, and it didn't take me very long to do that sleeve, and it's always the first one that takes the longest, because you don't know, like when you're creating, the first one always takes the longest because you don't know exactly where you're going to stop. Once I went to do the second sleeve, it took no time at all, and it was done in half double crochets. So let me see here. Hold on. Okay, so it's actually like right up to here. That's why I think 15 is enough. So I'm going to keep going. I think this is fine, because it is supposed to be a little bit of a more billowy, is that the word, sleeve, for this style of cardigan. It's not supposed to be a tapered sleeve. It's supposed to be baggy like the other one. If you haven't seen that one, you should check out the video. But I love that purple one too. I am kind of glad that it's starting to get a little warmer, because like right now, today it's still kind of cold around here. It's, today I think the highest was 60s. I could have probably worn that one out today when I went to the store real quick, but I wore my green one instead because, yesterday it was raining. I mean, the day before it was raining. Yesterday wasn't all that great either, if we're being honest. But it, like right now, it's in the 40s. But these cardigans that I've made these last few months that are all like granny stitch and granny square and I haven't made a hexie cardigan in a while, which I need to make one. But all the cardigans that I've made so far have really been in granny stitch. And, they're a little too breezy. They're more for like, 65 degree, 75 degree weather, where it's, not too cold outside and you just need something to throw over. So I can't wait to wear these, but I can't wait for you to see what I just finished making. I think it's beautiful. I think it's wonderful, even though it's granny stitch, because they're granny squares all together. I think I could actually wear that outside right now, where it's like, what, 40 something degrees, and I wouldn't be cold. It's like putting on a giant blanket, really. And I can't wait to be able to wear that, because that would be so nice. Like, again, I don't unfortunately go out much, because, I did the whole thing where I went out alone for a very long time. I went to restaurants alone. I went out alone. And I frankly don't want to do that anymore. So if I don't have anybody to go out with, I'm just going to stay home, because to me, it's just no fun anymore. Not having someone to share, the experience of going out. But I'm hoping that maybe someday soon, I'll be able to go out more. And when that day comes, that would be so nice to, like, if you're going out, like, to just go hang out for a little while at night and throw that on. Or, like, I would love to go hang out at the beach. I haven't been to the beach in a while, and it's actually, I feel better when I'm by the water. But I'm hoping that maybe this summer I can get down to the shore for, a little while. And I think that would be a great piece, because at night when it gets a little chilly, you want to walk the boardwalk or whatever, or go for a walk, you can always put that on. And I think that would look absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait for you to see it. But any of these, like cardigans, and I have done quite a few that are all like granny stitch, or, the hexie cardigans, granny squares, granny stitch. I want to do another one that is just double crochets or half double crochets, like my jacket. But something, maybe double crochets instead of half double crochets, because that does make it a lot more of a solid fabric, which is awesome. And again, I want another one. However, like maybe for, when it's still a little too cold, but not too cold, like too cold to wear the green one, my moss cardigan, which is my moss jacket. Let's call it a jacket, because that's what it is. So my moss jacket to these granny square cardigans, that one is really thick and dense, which is wonderful when it's really cold outside. These, like for right now, this might be a little too cold to go outside. But I have the perfect example. This one that is made in doubles and half doubles. See, so it's not like a very solid material, but it's not very holey either. We are going to recreate this one. I think that might be the next one we do, and make it a little bit longer, because this jacket actually started out here. And then I don't do good with short cropped stuff. Not at the moment, at least. And it was too short for me. So this is all stuff that was added after, and I know you can't tell, but like they're two different grays. This is, I think, Premier Yarns, and this is Loops and Threads. And no, Big Twist. Sorry, Big Twist. This is Big Twist. And even the blacks aren't the same, because I ran out of the yarn, and, you know, in pure Mary Jo fashion, I still can't pick out enough yarn for one project, because I always end up changing the project and then needing more yarn than what I thought. So that's what happened. But this was one of my very first pieces. And I want to make another one like this, but I want to make it where it's like up to my hips. And this actually might be the next one that we redo. But see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I want another one like this, where it's not a fully solid material, but not a fully, like, holy material either. And if that makes sense. So, and for some reason, I mean, it's sitting there staring me in the face because I use it all the time. That's the one I use in my room all the time. If I get cold in my room, that's my go-to cardigan. I love it. And it's, I think, the second or third cardigan that I ever made. I don't know where my first one is. I have to go look for it and find it. It's red. I made it for Christmas, and it was my very first one, and for the life of me right now, I cannot figure out where it is. So I gotta go look for that one, because I do want to make another one of that and actually make it a little shorter, because that one came out really long. But I'm going to go work on this. I have 4 more rounds to go. And then we're going to do, I'm going to put this in here so I know. Oh, that's on the inside. So where I know where I decreased. And hopefully we will get this project done tonight. And that means that we've completed 2 projects. I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me go do this, and I will be back. Okay, guys? All right. Okay. Okay, hi everybody. Today is Tuesday, the 28th, I believe. And today has not been a very good day. It is about 2:55 in the afternoon, and I am just getting started. I woke up today in a lot of pain. Now, I just filmed the intro to this video because I sat down to start editing and I put in I uploaded the videos to my app, which I use, YouTube Creates, and I started to watch it and there was no intro. I could have sworn I filmed an intro, but apparently I did not. So, I filmed it right now. So what you saw at the end of this video, at the beginning of the video, oh, it was today me. Now, like I said, today is Tuesday, the 28th. And honestly, I am not feeling very well. I am working very slow. I woke up today in an excruciating amount of pain. The fibromyalgia today seems to be out of control. And this is actually I did sit down a little while, for a little while, not too long, trying to start these sleeves. And while I was heating up my lunch. So I did eat, and now I want to, finish up these sleeves because this is the last of it. Once I finish this sleeve, this project is done. And that means 2 finished projects and 2 days left to try to finish up any other projects. I don't know what else I might get done today because I don't know how long this sleeve is going to take me. Because again, I'm really not feeling well. But I really do. I number one, need to keep busy because it's been a rough day. I finally got my pain down to where it's manageable, and I really do want to finish this cardigan. I would like to maybe wear it sometime soon, but I just want to finish it because it's so close, and I think it came out very pretty. Again, it wasn't exactly what I was going for, but what else is new, right? We are still going to try and do what I envisioned to begin with, but I just would love to finish this project. I would love to get started on connecting the blanket, at least having it all connected by Thursday. That's going to be my main priority. I don't think I have the energy to do anything else. I was supposed to have an appointment today to go do some tests, and I couldn't. There was no way. I could barely walk to the bathroom, to the kitchen, let alone try to go by myself to an appointment. There was no way. So I had to move that. And honestly, I think it was already almost 1:30 when I sat down to grab this. And if you can tell, I'm going as, as fast as I can, which is not fast at all, especially the way I crochet. But as long as I get it done, I don't, it doesn't matter how long it takes right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I believe this one is a decrease round. But yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know this will be done today. And we will have two finished projects by the end of the night. And hopefully, I can start on the blanket. But at this moment, I'll be very happy if I can just get this done. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to sit here. Probably not very long. I'm already feeling it. And I've only been here for a little bit. But today is bad. And it honestly feels like it's going to rain. That's how, I feel pins and needles everywhere. Especially like this hand and my foot. This whole left side of my body. It's just... But I'm hoping that, if I can sit here and try to relax and crochet just a little bit, hopefully it'll make me feel better. But I just want to recreate this sleeve. That's all that's left. I did have to do some adjusting because I did something wrong when I attached it, but I fixed it. It's not a problem. And I did notice that, I don't know how I did it. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I must have counted wrong. And I thought that the sleeve had 20 rows of granny clusters and it only has 19. So I have to now pay attention to this sleeve. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I for some reason thought there was only one round and it was 2. So I miscounted. That was my bad. I still haven't fully secured the sleeve. So if I do decide that I want to add one more round of granny clusters, I can always rip this out and add one more round of the brown and then put this back on. But I don't think that that's going to be necessary. I just really want to finish the sleeve. And that's all that really matters right now. So I am going to try and slowly figure this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm decreasing on 5. Double crochet 1. This is going to be a decrease row. I'm trying to write it down, which I should have done before, right? I feel like I'm going crazy. But I am determined to work slowly and get this done. Because I want to. Because I know it'll make me feel better. So I'm going to go work on this and I will let you know what's going on. I'll be back, guys. Okay, hey everybody. I know I look a mess. I'm sorry. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. But it is 4:35 and I've got the sleeve about halfway done. I just, according to this and the other side, just need to add 9 more rounds. But I ran out of yarn. So we finished another skein of the brown. And I honestly don't know how much yarn I've used, but I know it's a lot. And we still have 2 more days. So we can possibly finish more. I do have, I think this is my last skein, which I kind of didn't want to use, but here we are. We're just going to use a little bit. I don't think it'll take up that much of the skein. Because again, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more rounds. And they are going to get smaller. Well, this one is, I'm down to 18, I believe. And this one is going to make, this one, by the time we get down, it'll be a little bit smaller, but it's really not that much. They're very small rounds. These sleeves are supposed to be a little bit wider than my normal sleeves, which is okay by me. I like the way it's coming out. I'm trying to get this finished today because I would like to, I don't think I'm going to start the blanket today because I think that's just too much for me right now. I don't want to sit here and try to connect all of those right now. I still have 2 days left before the end of the month, right? So I can spend tomorrow and Thursday working on it. Tomorrow I do have an appointment, and I think I have an appointment on Thursday. But still, it's just connecting and then doing the border, right? And that's what's going to take the most time, is the border. So what I'm thinking is, if I can get this done within the next hour, which I think I can, and I'm hoping to, then what I might do, and I know this is completely insane, but if you remember all that green that I took apart, that I had started the sleeves on this cardigan, and I didn't like them, I have it like in my other little project basket that I keep on my desk, because, well, not desk, it's a little table that I have on my side of my chair, and it's like these little baskets from the Dollar Tree, and for some reason I like putting my yarn in there when I work. And I have the one that normally sits here, full of sage green yarn spaghetti. And I don't want to wind it up. I don't want to roll it up. I just want to use it. And I would rather it not sit there for a while. So, because this is almost done, and I don't want to start connecting the blanket today, hopefully I will feel better tomorrow, and I rather just start that fresh, like, on a new day, just have nothing else to worry about but the blanket. And what I was thinking of doing, because I really didn't want to work on the baskets either because my hands are not working right. So I want something that's very easy, that's, you know, very mindless, that's easy for me to do. And that is a granny stitch, right? Hold on. And why don't we just turn those into as many 9 round granny squares as we can? To do what I was thinking about doing, which is what this one was going to be, which didn't work that way. We can do, we need 8 squares, right? 4 on each side. I know the last time I kept saying 4 squares, but it's 4 on each side. 4 for each panel, because this was 6. So I think 4 will be more than enough. Adding the border, it'll give me the length that, you know, I want, which will be, you know, in between the one that's already made and what this one was supposed to be. Like, but anyway, I need 4. If I want to use a different color, or maybe even 2 different colors of whatever scraps we have left from here. Not scraps, because these aren't big enough to be scraps, right? These are half skeins. And some even more than a half. So to get them down to scraps, I want to use a little bit more of them. But, you know, we can use some of this to make that. And I need 8 squares altogether. Yeah, 8 squares. We can see how many squares we can get out of the sage green. If we can get 4 and still have yarn left over and use that maybe to connect them. And then pick what other color we might want to use. We do have some green left over and some, I was thinking of doing like different shades of green, because we do have a nice mint green, and do something a little bit lighter than the brown, so that we don't have, like, this does have yellow in it, which makes it brighter, but it's also very dark because of the brown. I want something a little bit lighter, so I think that doing those squares in that light green and seeing what other green I have that might go with it, something that we haven't used yet, and I think that would look nice. But, you know, just focus on this green right now. I just want to get rid of the green pile of spaghetti that I have in that basket. And then that yarn will be used so it can go back into the into the labels. And we can finish off that whenever. It won't take as long as these because I already know exactly how it's being connected and everything else. So it won't be that difficult, and they'll all be the same size, which means that we can do the join as you go, which will be even faster. And I have that in my head, and it needs to come out. So what I think when we're done with this, that's another round done. When we're done with this, we can spend the rest of the night not going too hard, and it's just granny squares, one at a time, and there's going to be no changing colors. The squares are going to be solid. So it's going to be at minimum 4 solid granny squares of that sage green. and see how many we can get. And then if we get to pick another color, then we can get to pick another color. If all we can do is those, then I'll be happy with that. And, you know, who knows? Maybe I might get another cardigan before the end of the month, like I need any more cardigans. I need more cardigans like I need, you know, another hole in my head. Well, another piercing would be nice, but anyway. I don't think there's, you know, no such thing as too many cardigans. I know some people will disagree, and I don't care because they're not all the same. They're all different colors, and they are all going to go up on my website at one point very soon, so that you can custom order them. And, you know, that's the best way I could think of for me to get my stuff out there. And, you know, I get a bunch of pretty cardigans that I can wear, and cardigans, ponchos, sweaters, and I also have, you know, the patterns that are going to be written, and then you can pick one of the pretty cardigans that I've made, and if you want, you can order one and have it custom. You can either have the same colors, or you can get different colors, or, you know, but that's my goal. That's my goal for this year. And to do that, in order to write patterns, I need to make stuff, right? So we're just going to keep making. And this one was an unexpected surprise. It didn't come out exactly as I wanted it, but it's something different that I didn't have before. And, you know, now I wouldn't have thought of making something like this, you know, and now I have it. And if anyone would like one like this, now I know how to make it. And now we can try and get the one that was in my head out. And that's what we're going to do with the solid squares. We want those solid. I don't want different colors for that one. I think that one would look much nicer with solid colors and like solid squares. And that's what we're going to do. So as soon as well, not as soon, because I am going to need to take a break soon. And also I have to go meet my friend real quick in a little bit. That's why I also wanted to finish this before she got out of work, so that, you know, I think she's going to stop by here, and I wanted her to see both of them finished because she hasn't seen either one of them yet. And I'm just so excited that that one is finished. I even did like the little side little thing where I, you know, attach them. It's so cute. I love it. But I would like to have this finished, and then, you know, I think she's going to come and hang out with me for a little while, and then when she leaves, we're just going to work on the squares. And hopefully I'll start feeling a little better. I do have to go take something for my pain in a little bit, go handle my pain. And I'm going to do that. Hopefully I'll be able to finish this first. It is 4:50. I've been doing this for almost 15 minutes. And we already got, like, we're on the fourth one. So it's going pretty fast. And I have, after this round, which is, halfway, we will have one more before we do our, I believe it's our last increase. I mean, decrease. What am I saying? I don't know. I'm tired. I do have to, I looked at the other sleeve this far down. I didn't check what the last two were. I think the last two were just regular. There's only one more decrease left, and then we'll do the green for the cuff, which we do have enough here, and there should be some left over. So, when it comes down to just a little bit where it's enough to go in the scrap bin, then they're going. And those scraps I'm not touching. The only things that I'm, trying to use are like if they're half skeins, but if there's anything left out of that, that's going to go straight into the scrap pile, and we're going to save that for the end of the year. And we're slowly accumulating some. I believe that we are going to have more than enough to do the blanket. And then I also want to discuss the blanket because I think I want to do it a little bit different this year. Last year we did 2 squares every day till the end of Vlogmas. And we ended up doing 50 squares. But depending on how this blanket comes out, the love blanket that I'm doing now, this one is 48 squares, and they're 9 rounds apiece. The other ones were 5 rounds, I believe, or 6 rounds, something like that. And I would like to make a blanket, another blanket, that would be big enough to fit on my bed if I wanted, because the first 2 that I made are small. They don't cover my entire bed. And although those are good to have, I would still like to have another one that would fit my bed. So what I'm thinking is we can do the same amount. If the one that I'm making now is a good fit, we can do that, and we can do 48 squares and then spend the last 2 days of Vlogmas putting it together. What do you think of that? Do you like that idea? Because I would like to have, that somewhat planned out. And again, these are going to be all over the place because there are going to be some funky ass colors in there. Whatever is big enough, like, well, let's say small enough to go in the scrap pile, it's going in there. And there's going to be all kinds of colors. Because, there are some that we used all the way, but there are some that are just there. So we should be able to do 9 rounds and just make random ass squares this time. Like, there's going to be no rhyme or reason. We're just going to pick a color and keep going. And every day we can do 2 squares. So it's not going to be overwhelming, I believe we're going to find out how long those squares take me. Because, it's going to be a little bit longer because those are going to be like, tying them on. But I think that we'll have a better idea once I do these squares tonight that are going to be just full squares. And we'll know how long it's going to take me. I think a 9 round square will probably take me about 45 minutes. But we'll see. I'm almost done with this. I'm going to go figure out the last few rounds. Because my next round will be a decrease round. And then I have the last 2 after that. So let me go finish this up, and I'll let you know when it's done. Okay, hey everybody, I finished it. They're both done. I just have to weave in the ends, but they're done. They're all the way done. So, I ow. I finished it. I did do the green on both cuffs. Now, I'm going to take you into my craft room and we're going to do the big reveal of what they both look like. Okay? So, let's go. Okay, guys, so we're in my craft room. I know it's a little bit of, I don't know if you could see through the mirror. It is a little bit of a mess in here, but we're going to clean that up. But right now, I want to show you what they look like. Ready? Okay, we'll start with a cardigan, right? Okay, here it is. Now, it did come out a lot longer, and let me see if I can fix you for a second. Okay, again, I'm sorry. I know that, it's a kind of a bad angle. I don't know where else to put you where you can see the whole thing. Hold on. There you go. So what do you think? I decided to do the sleeves in brown. And I did the cuffs in green so they could match the border that I put on the outside. Now, I know it's a little bit oversized, and I know I tend to do that, but we'll discuss that more in a few minutes. Now, you want to see the special project? Here we go. It's kind of like a wrap. There's the back. I don't know if you can see the whole thing. It is very long. And I should have removed the two, and I think I had discussed that earlier, that maybe it would have been short. It would have looked a little bit better if it was a little shorter, like right up to here. More or less where this green line is, but I kind of like it. And, you know, if you're walking on the beach or outside in, you know, in the backyard, or you're sitting by a fireplace, you know, a fire pit in the summer, and it's a little chilly outside, I think this would be beautiful. And now, all I did was I did a chain with both the green and the gold, and then I just tied it in. So if I want to, I can always take it out. And then it'll be like, you know, all open, and I can wrap it around me if I want to and take the sleeve off. So right now it looks like kind of like a jacket because it has the sleeve hole. But if I want to, I can take that out. And I don't know what you would consider this. Would it be like, I mean, it's not a cardigan, I don't think. A shawl, or maybe like a cape. I don't know. I think it came out beautiful. I do want to make a shorter one because this did come out a lot longer than I was looking for. I only really wanted it up to my thigh, but I am very happy with it. And I don't know, I think it looks pretty. Let me know what you think. And I think I am going to make another one, but the squares are probably going to be like solid colors this time. But hold on hold on a minute, and then we will close out this video. Okay, everybody, so we finished both projects. We finished them both. I'm so excited. And I still have 2 more days to see what else I can finish. I'm not going to work on the blanket tonight. I am tired. I am so tired, so I'm not going to work on the blanket tonight. But I will be working on the blanket tomorrow. So you'll have to wait to see what happens and how much we get done. Hopefully we can have, everything done by Thursday. Who knows? But you will find out more or less when I will. So, like I said, that is it for this video. I don't know. I obviously I have to watch it back. I don't know how well you could see the cardigan and I honestly don't know what to call that. So you let me know what that is even considered. Is it considered a shawl? Is it considered a cape? What would you consider that? And do you like it? Do you think it's too big? Do you think I should remove 2 panels? I mean, I'm going to do it anyway, but what do you think? I would love to know what you think. And I did take a few pictures of me wearing it after I did that video. So if you could see it better in the pictures, I will attach the pictures here and put it on the screen. I don't know where, but it would be either on either side of me, probably on this side. I gotta see. I'm still figuring that out, but I think I got it. So I will put pictures of it up there, and I'll put them of the cardigan and of the other piece. I think I'm going to call it my granny square, my sunflower granny square cape. I mean, is that what we're calling it? I don't know. If you know, you let me know. I think they came out really good. I like the way they came out. Yes, they are a little oversized, but I think something like those 2 pieces right there, it can be like for someone who's heavier than me. And it would also, some people like wearing that oversized, kind of sweater. So even if like someone smaller than me, or if I lose weight, or when I lose weight, because I'm already starting to lose weight. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. When I lose weight, it's still going to look nice because it's supposed to be oversized. It's supposed to be chunky. My friend did ask me if I was ever going to make anything that was in my size that actually fit me properly. And yes, we will. I am going to be remaking both of those in something that's a little bit like shorter. Like I said, the big one, the cape, we are going to remove 2 panels. So we're only going to need, I think it was 16 panels. So we're only 16 squares. So we're only going to need 8 panels. No, that's wrong. 16. Is it 12? 12 panels. Yeah, 12. We only need 12 squares. And we might also make them, instead of 9 rounds, maybe make them 8 rounds each. I mean, although, you know, yeah, because I think 8 rounds would be better. So we're going to do that. And we are also on the cardigan, we're going to do, again, 2 squares less. Now, the size of the squares, I think I'm going to leave the same. I think, or maybe we can do them in 8 rounds, because we are going to do the join as you go method, which is what I did. So it is kind of a little bit chunky. So instead of 9 rounds, we might do 8. But you let me know. Did you like them? Did you not like them? How do you think they came out? Should I, you know, write a pattern for them the way they are? I don't know. I would love some feedback. Would you guys like to make one? You know, I mean, I'm talking about writing patterns. I don't even know if anyone would want to make something like that. But you can feel free to leave comments, and I want to thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my craziness. I am feeling a lot better than I was this morning. It comes and goes. You know, with the fibromyalgia, you gotta sometimes take it an hour at a time. Hopefully tomorrow I'll feel a lot better than I did this morning, and we can handle that blanket a little bit, but I'm not going to try and overdo it. So, you know, we're going to try and take it slow for the rest of the night. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for stopping by. And let me know what you think of the projects. Let me know if you think they came out nice. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Oh, wait. Hold on. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm still getting used to this. I don't even know how to close out the videos. Like, what is the right way or the wrong way? But thank you so much for stopping by. If you really like this video and you like to watch the insanity that is me, hit that subscribe button. Hit that little bell. It'll let you know when I'm on. And hit the like button. And that helps the video, you know. That helps the channel. That helps me. And you know, I appreciate all of you stopping by, and stay creative, guys. Keep creating. And again, you can always, I would love to see what you guys make, so you can always leave pictures up on my community tab if you want to. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all later, okay? See y'all in the next one. Bye.